Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Listen Along. I'm your host, William. I'm also the drummer for Glass Beach. And today I'm joined by two guests. One is my friend Austin,
Hi.
who you might recognize as Overzealous in the chat if you have been in any of our Twitch streams or, really any of the Listen Alongs that we've done up until now. Austin, good friend in town and is always checking in on the Listen Along. So we thought, hey, let's have him on to actually do one. And then the other guest that I have, which is the subject of today's Listen Along, I have Ryland of Origami Angel, because today we're going to be covering Gami Gang. Say hi, Ryland.
Hey, y'all. What's going on? Stoked to be on.
Hell
stoked
yeah.
to listen.
Sweet. And we've already got a couple people in the chat. Funnily enough, one of them is Overzealous. One of them's Austin. But we got Lucky Nev, Origami Angel collab real? No, but if you've heard Ryland and I talk at all previously or anything, Glass Beach, big fans of Origami Angel, and I know it goes both ways. We would totally, we would do anything together.
You gotta make it happen.
Talking on stream, that's basically collab.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's Ryland from Minecraft says, Classic John, we got here in the chat. Rats. We are rats. Edward Ramos. And Oliver Potato says, yo, great.
Yo.
Oh, people are coming in. People are jumping in. At the top, I want to say, if you've never been to one of these listen alongs before, well, I would actually like to start by saying I've done one with Ryland previously where we listened to Somewhere City together, and that was fucking awesome. And that and all of the previous listen alongs are on the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube. And it is literally called the Second Glass Beach channel. That's where you will find it. All of these are in a playlist called Listen Along. You can also find that by going to YouTube and typing in, I think, Glass Beach Listen Along, and the playlist will come right up. All of the episodes that I've done. I've had Drya. That one. I think I made that video public without telling anybody. So, so I need to do that. But I've had Drya on recently. I had Backwash last week. Field Medic, Pink Shift, Cheek Face, again, Origami Angel previously. I covered the First Glass Beach remix album as well. Bad Moves. I've had a ton of, and Jimily, so many artists, so many great listen alongs, and it was cool to hear all of them talk about their records, and for me to just say, wow, that thing you did is so cool for an hour. And then I'm going to get this up here. The upcoming schedule, by the way, here next week, we're going to have Arcadia Gray coming on here to do Konami Code, which I'm super stoked about. I really like them a lot. I just got an email that said that my vinyl is on its way with my hat that I purchased from them. So I'm super stoked about that. Essentially what we're going to be doing, Image. Where did my image go?
Oh dear.
Oh no, did I replace my image? No, it's right.
I guess it was just invisible.
Where has it gone? Why is it so far down? Hold on. There we go. That's weird. It switched places in my OBS. Anyway, so first we're going to be visiting the band's website or Bandcamp. I think I'm going to actually be visiting the Counterintuitive Bandcamp because that's where Gami Gang is. Purchase the album, the merch if you can. If you have the means, I would really encourage it. Supporting the artists that I have on the show in turn supports me if you really think about it, but if you don't think about it too hard. And then open a streaming service. I will not be playing the music live on stream. That will not be happening. We will be syncing. So you are in charge of opening whatever streaming provider you use, whether it's the Green Music app or the Fruit with the Bite out of it or Deezer or whatever. And then we'll wait for a 3, 2, 1, go. That was not the actual countdown, but that is exactly what it's going to sound like. And then when I say go, you will hit play with me. As I say go, I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. That wasn't it. And as I say go, you hit play. And we should be relatively synced up for the most part. Us with Ryland, Ryland with us with you, you with Ryland, so on and so forth. And the last thing is exclamation point listen. Here, I think I put it above the overlay. I don't like that. There we go. Exclamation point listen in the chat today will bring you, I think the first link is your merch website. The second link is, I think, your Bandcamp or the Counterintuitive Bandcamp. And the third link is a link to a tweet of the announcement of the upcoming shows that you have. So all three of those links, go check those out. That exclamation point listen in the chat. Support Origami Angel, please. I'm begging you. Although, like, knowing Origami Angel fans, I don't need to beg you to support Origami Angel. Let's be real. How about we go to a window now where we can see Ryland? Doesn't that sound like fun? And Austin and I will not be centered because I have not optimized this for two people. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Counterintuitive Records Bandcamp. And now you can see Ryland. What's up, Ryland?
Hey, what's going on?
You were so
everybody?
patient. I don't know why I keep my guests in this, like, under region as I start this show, but
Yeah, you were just so into your whole spiel at the beginning. I just was like, okay, William's got this. They've got their whole, like, they got the whole essay, like, memorized in their head. Just,
got to move forward.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Like it gets, I get some time to, warm up, and like feel, invited. I enjoy it. I like it.
And we've got Andrew _ the Hut. Yo, first time here. I'm stoked. This is awesome. Yo, thank you. First time here. That's awesome.
Let's go.
The first time.
I'm stoked. Boss Dog is in here. Wow, you're aren't you usually Glass Beach Band, Boss Dog? Whatever. Dax is in here. Dax, the artist who does all of the art for our band, is in here saying image.
Some really great,
Oh, that was from before.
great
Image
human
gone.
beings in this chat right now.
Caring Lizard is in here. We got Andy's 1T says Gami Gang. Origami Angel is in the shadow place, says Caring Lizard. And then, of course, Origami Angel is in there talking to everybody else. Space Terrier as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm stoked. Origami Angel, one of my all-time favorite bands. I'll say it.
Absolutely.
Completely
I would agree
solidified
now.
in the past week.
I just want to reiterate, definitely, if you haven't, going back, watching the previous listen-alongs, it's really fun commentary over some really great music. My first experience with Origami Angel was with the previous listen-along, and I absolutely loved it. It was a great time, and it's amazing that I happened to be in town for round 2. So just go. Was able to add so much good music to my repertoire. It's just an awesome thing.
Thank
And
you.
I thank
That's
you,
so
William,
cool.
for having me on. This is great.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. That was so nice.
It's gonna be fun.
And I'm going to go to a different screen now. But go, again, check out the Bandcamp, purchase the record. If you can, if you have the means. I'm serious. And at the very least, I mean, like, share stuff around, follow on social media, follow on, like, streaming platforms as well. That's, like, a pretty big deal because you know
Does
what?
help.
Sometimes, here's two things. If we get followers, that looks good for business people.
Yeah.
If we have followers on social media, but especially on, like, Spotify or something, if someone's like, what, you have, like, this many followers on Spotify? That's pretty impressive. And then we get to go, cool, can I have money, please, now? Or something. An opportunity of sorts. And then the other thing is also, very recently, I follow Angimili on Spotify. And I didn't know that he had released a new song.
Oh.
And my Spotify was like, hey, you might want to know Angimili released a new song. And I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't see really anything posted about it. So I was like, oh, this is dope. And I only knew that because I followed Angimili.
I heard a similar thing, except it was for Weezer.
Weezer released a new song?
I think. At least they were featured.
Oh, okay. Wow, I don't follow Weezer.
Probably for the best.
Oh, Andrew _ the Hut gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Or no, an anonymous gifter gifted 1 tier sub to Andrew _ the Hut, which, thank you so much. This is your first time here, and now you're subbed to the channel. Never leave, please. Quintron is here. So excited to see Origami Angel in November. Hell yeah, Quintron. Boy Armed. Incidentally, I found Glass Beach after listening to Somewhere City. That rules.
Wow.
The pipeline is real.
Full circle. Excellent.
The two-way pipeline.
Andy's 1T, my vinyl just came in. I fucking love the postcard that comes with it. Ooh, a postcard.
What?
And Oliver Potato. I went to that place in LA where the Somewhere City picture was taken. Pretty dope. Wow.
That was a place in LA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in LA. We did it on our first US tour. The name is escaping me at the moment, which is it's Sunset Junction. That's the sign. It's called Sunset Junction. And what's weird is like we had the art before we had ever been to LA. But what had happened is RB took the picture and we had seen it and it was like, wow, we feel like this could, this was the vibe, they had edited it like with green tints, and we'd always talked about like how we felt like this album was very green, or that album was very green. But yeah, it was interesting because then we like got to go there in the summer when we toured, and it was like our first time in LA, and we took a promo picture in front of that sign too. So it was just like it finally getting to see it. It was very obscure. It's way bigger than I thought it was actually. But yeah, like it's cool. Some people told me like, yeah, I actually saw it out of nowhere and was like, oh, that's that sign, which is it's cool.
That's fantastic.
Wait, so it's actually Somewhere City?
No, it doesn't say Somewhere City.
I was going to say, what? That's actually a sign. Yeah. Okay, I got you. I was like, what? But that was edited.
No.
Yeah.
That'd be different.
That would be.
It says Sunset Junction.
Maybe someday. Cool. Maybe someday.
It should stay the way it is. It's beautiful in its own right.
The 6 Viking 6 says getting the Somewhere City logo tatted. Whoa.
That's brave.
That is brave.
That's cool.
That is very brave. I mean, cool.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
what's up.
That is what's up. Before we get into the actual listening, I just want to say out the gate, just so that I'm not like talking like this for the entire listen along, I want to address Gami Gang being as long as it is and as many tracks as it is. We're gonna have to get into it really soon. But with that, when you first released the record Gami Gang, I listened to Neutrogena, whatever the name is.
Neutrogena Spectre,
yeah, Neutrogena Spectre. I listened to the singles you released, and I loved those. And then like when the album came out, I listened to that whole thing. And upon my first listening, like after, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like a lot of the same, and I was like, oh, they kept with like their songwriting style and everything, which is great because it's like so good. And it's like, it is like more of like what I would desire from Origami Angel. I was like, that's really cool. Upon my like 5th listen, I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Because I came off it being like, this is like as good as Somewhere City, and that's like cool, and that's where it's gonna sit, and like this is great. It's like another like longer Somewhere City. I think I've listened to the record like probably like 30 times now, and I can confidently say that like every single song is like so good and so memorable, and so, even though there are like similarities of course to your style and everything from Somewhere City, sure, it is so different. And it's like, it is mistakenly like different. It is like something, it is very conspicuously different. And I'm really excited to cover it today because I've been having a little bit of a hard time listening to certain music at work because I just started a new full-time job, and thank you. Yeah. But it's taken a lot of like my time away, and like, it's very monotonous, but I get to listen to music or podcasts while I'm there. And for these listen alongs, I would usually listen to the album that I was going to be covering at least once every day.
Right.
And the last ones like were 2 EPs. It was Jiraiya's and it was Backwash. And you would think those were really easy to listen to, but it actually was super hard because they cover a lot of like subject matter that is like, I mean, like Jiraiya's like Pressure Bomb is a lot about like, being overstretched and like kind of, it was just like a lot of the themes made it kind of hard to listen to, especially at work. And like I just craved creativity and I couldn't get it, and so that was difficult. Your album this past week I listened to at least twice a day. And it was easy. When I finished it, I just wanted to put it back on again.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's really I mean, Somewhere City is like a triumph, and I think a masterpiece, and I think that's like
thank you.
an incredible record. And there are so many things you did with it, bookending it, having it start and finish and go back into itself and everything like that. A lot, pulling all of the themes in the climax of the record and all of the motifs from the album, and having it like culminate into one like final victorious moment of that very positive record. And then this one, I mean, you are doing a lot of similar things. Like there are a lot of like motifs that run through the whole thing, and I'm excited to get into that. But for as long as it is and for how many tracks there are, more than any other album I think I've ever experienced in my life, once it was done, I needed to put it back on again.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That honestly, it's like, that means so much to me, because it's like it's I feel like it was very scary to put out a lot of stuff at once, because it's I will say it's a lot of songs, and it's like I see a reality in which it's very easy to just be like, I never need to listen to that again because it's so big. But just the fact that one person could listen to it again after listening, that means a ton to me.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of different flavors to it, but it's still very gami, and it's still very it's great to listen to multiple times. And once you start internalizing the runtime of the album, it's like it just starts and finishes seemingly super quickly, because and there's a lot of different songs on it, but it just flows and flows and flows, because there's not a huge overarching thing, so it just keeps you going. It's like you're walking down a path. And
thank you.
It's really excellent. And I've also listened to it like multiple times in a row at work, and it definitely is more difficult to listen to something, especially for the first time while you're working, just because you're so focused on doing other things. It's like almost difficult to internalize it.
Yeah,
so that
just
further
that
further like incentivizes me just to keep going, just to keep listening, and y'all make it super easy. It's
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
definitely. Like an idea we had like going into is like, we definitely want this one to like be very emphatic on the flow, the flow of song to song, and we really kind of just like, we think Somewhere City is like a beautiful thing that we were able to do at just the right place and right time in our lives. And we kind of didn't want to try to do the same thing twice. We wanted to, really think outside the box in terms of like the content, in terms of just like the erraticness of the album. The flow is going to be a little bit different, try some different things. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm really proud of both of them and just how they exist together. And just, there's enough of that familiarity sound wise, I think, but I think, there's enough that doesn't overlap that it could be a different experience for both of them. And I'm excited to hear people think the same thing. So that's what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're in the chat here. We have Naffle666 says, I often listen to the whole album 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. Like,
wow.
So this is a common occurrence here. You can't get tired of Gami, says Lil Viking. Such a fun time to listen to it. Makes time fly by like a daily listen while at the office. And I will say, with the flow of the record of what you brought up here, it's so funny because like I put on full albums to listen to, so I never know what any of the songs are called. I don't know what the track lists are for like any album that I love. And with this record, the funny nature of it is the flow is so good that you don't even notice suddenly you're like 4 songs from where you were, and you're like, oh shit.
And what's the funniest part about that is like when we were demoing it, I would like I would do the GarageBand drums for some demos and stuff and like export it, but I wouldn't just have a file to listen to with like all the 20 different songs, I would have one file that was just 50 minutes long of all the songs. So I was never seeing it switch from like track 1 to track 2. It's like I would kind of in my head just be like, oh, it's a 50-minute thing, and I'm just gonna chop it up like in these different spots. But it's just the way that I guess we kind of like internalized that idea to just be like, okay, hopefully it comes out this way.
Yeah, and with all the samples and cool transitions between songs, it definitely feels that way. And you just want to listen to them one after the other, just to feel it feels supernatural that way.
Hell yeah, thank you.
And I would still recommend paying attention to the track names, because you see like. You see the name of the track and you're like, it's called what? Especially for Gami Gang, it's like, oh, okay, why not?
There's some goofy ones on this one. I will admit, there's some silly song names on.
Like, no offense, my favorite song of all time of yours.
Oh, thank you.
I think that song is so sweet.
Yeah, it was like, I guess at that time, like when I was writing, it was kind of like I was off the whole like love song wave. Like I wasn't trying to do it. And then I was like, I'll try one more. And then, but I wanted to say something in a way that I hadn't said it before. You know, I wanted to say something in a way that, you know, might be a little edgy. But
yeah. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. It's my fault. Okay. All right. Bring up your streaming provider, everyone. Audience, chat. I see all of you in there. Pull up your streaming provider of choice, whether it, again, be the Green Music app, the Fruit with the Bite out of it, you know, Tidal. I don't know. Is there an easy way to stream with Tidal? Whatever it is.
Get out your portable CD player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out your tape deck.
Don't shake it too much.
We got people saying ready. Jacob Village just said, I can't stay for the whole stream, but I'll watch the VOD later. Sending love and good vibes to William, Origami Angel, and everyone having fun here in the chat. Oh, yeah, you'll check the VOD. And again, I mean, this will also be on the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube afterwards. It'll probably go up on Monday, I would think. That's at least what I'm trying to do. But again, with my new full-time job, it is making it a little difficult to do big, like, post-release stuff. Which is, yeah. I'll tell you what, announcing a tour while having a full-time job is very hard.
It can be a lot.
A full-time job, and also like I do like an extra 10 to 15 hours of freelance work every week. So I'm like working 55 to like 60 hours sometimes. It's fun. No, it's not. But it's you know, whatever. I'm stalling for a little while longer just for everybody to get ready. Are you ready, Ryland?
I'm so ready.
Hell yeah. Because we gotta, if we start it now, we'll be done at like 1:25 our time.
So when you start it, we'll both be listening, right? It's all hooked up that way?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
we'll both be listening along. Am I right?
Well. So true, William.
Thank you. Cool. And I'm sorry that Patrick, is it Patrick, right?
Yeah, Pat.
Does nobody call him Patrick? I'm sitting here like very formally. I'm so sorry that Patrick couldn't be here. Yeah.
That's my guy, though.
You'll have to pass along that I adore the drumming on this record.
Yeah,
for sure.
Pat goes bonkers.
Pat's a wild guy. I can't wait to listen to some of this stuff again.
Okay. I've stalled long enough. Let's do it. I'm about to do the countdown, everybody. That is it. And again, that is the 3, 2, 1 go. And that wasn't it. That was not right. That was not me doing it. And then as I say go, you will hit play, and we will be close to synced up, I would say, for the most part. Hopefully.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Just make sure you have shuffle turned off.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I've had that problem multiple times.
The Angimile stream.
Yeah. We were listening to Angimile, and it was maybe like 4 songs through. And I was just thinking, man, the transitions between these tracks are so good. But then I realized William is just singing different lyrics. I'm thinking, excuse me? And I have shuffle on. And despite having shuffle on, I'm like, wow, this flow is great.
That's the true test.
That is a true test. Don't do it for this, but I guess yeah, put Gami Gang on shuffle one of these days. See what happens. Cool. And I will say we front loaded our talking, so that while the album is playing, that you can say most of this stuff. But I really wanted to get out like how much I really love this record and how much it is like you have you had a daunting task with like something to come after Somewhere City, and I think you crushed it. You fucking crushed it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
If I had made Somewhere City, I don't know that I would have come out with music for another 10 years.
Honestly, yeah, it was a weird spot. Like when we really started thinking about it, and it's like we can talk more about this like when we started. But like most of these demos to these songs are out before Summer City even came out. I mean, we had the demos before Summer City like was released, so we had some like confidence in our past selves. So that's a big thing, I feel like.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
Huge Dingus says this record is dope.
Same.
Just want to say that. And Keenan Aubrey 512 says we love Pat. It's true.
We do.
It's true. All right. I've stalled for so long that I'm sure I've made some people anxious. So let's get into it. I'm pulling up the album right now. Here we go.
Ooh, there it is.
There it is. I'm gonna give like a little content warning just for like it touches on like depression and wait, what? Sorry, I'm just seeing the Spotify plays right here. Seeing that hashtag Gami Gang only has 1,218 plays.
Yeah, I'll explain.
Okay, please do. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Anyway, yeah, but it covers depression and I believe like either loss of friendship or it's a little cloudy whether or not like it's loss of friendship or like life or you know that, but
yeah,
just
can be both.
Be prepared for that. And any other like things that you can think of that it touches on that might be.
It's a big like I feel like there's a lot of songs that touch on like how the daunting reality of isolation. So if like anybody had like a really bad experience over the last 18 months and doesn't want to relive that, totally understand that.
Cool. Okay. Here we go. Oh, Till 2002 just made it. Perfect timing as usual, it seems. Hey, I hope you got your streaming provider pulled up Till 2002 because I'm about to do the countdown. Countdown is coming in.
Yeah, it's going down.
All right. Here we go. This is Gami Gang by Origami Angel. And the first song is hashtag Gami Gang. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so when a song is less than 30 seconds, it doesn't get counted as a play. I don't know how it got any plays. So if we had made it 3 seconds longer, it would have like hundreds of thousands, probably.
Wow.
This is a beat I made when I was 14 years old. I revamped it to fit the album because I thought it would be kind of cool to just start it off.
Well, and you use it as a motif through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
One of the big things that like we were thinking about like when we had that idea is just how this album is kind of like a journey and a journal of life, you know? It's got lots of different collections from different times.
Yeah, this track is Self-Destruct.
Yes, thank you.
I know how this works.
This is one that like when we wrote it, it was like, okay, I think we really have an idea how this album's going to go, like, and how it's going to exist.
And it's such an excellent opener. I love this track so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
just I feel like it's a tone setter, you know, like for us, like writing the album, but also it just came to like, okay, of course that can be the second track, you know, like it's different enough, but it's familiar enough too, you know, right off the bat. And we just love the changes in the first 45 seconds of this record from, this beat I made to like, a breakdown to this modal shift, and then it turns to this party song. But it's still really sad.
For sure. And it really shows you like what you're about to get into in the first couple tracks.
What a ridiculous chorus. What a ridiculous chorus.
Yeah, I can't help but just turn it up when it comes to the chorus.
It's barely harmonic. Like,
yeah, it's that the notes, and they're following the breakdown, the panic chord. It was just like, I've always wanted to sing a harmony to the panic chord. So
that's
it's just
so good.
It's the 2 over top. The panic chord is like the 7 and the 1, like the major 7 and the 1. So it's just like, I really wanted to just see how that would work. And just doing it with the rhythm, I was like, wow, I really like that. I think it's catchy. It's a lot of words, very hard to sing, but it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, you think the guitar, it would make it very anxiety inducing.
And we got these arpeggios back here, which are throughout the record. I mean, like, well, they finish it off too. It's that motif, which it's so good.
And inverting it to different ways. And it was like, when we had that idea, it was just like, okay, that really fits. We can invert it like backwards into this song. It just makes sense. And there's all these like, I don't know how easy it is to hear, but there's like these weird, like, very clean guitar, like strummy things that I'm doing in the background here too. Yeah. There's like synth layers in the background. It was just like a lot of stuff that we'd never really dabbled in for like other albums. It was just like, okay, well, let's put it on the forefront and use the dominant one to go back to the minor thing.
I want to say Chili the Drifter. Yeah, you have to pull up a streaming provider and play it yourself.
That's where the fun begins.
Oh yes, this is where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins.
Which is Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. And this is Mobius chicken strip. You'll see below me on the overlay, it shows what song we're on and where we are in the song. So you can sync up at any time as close as you can.
I wrote the like the melody to this riff, right? It was like an octave lower. I actually had to go into work for like this initiation thing at this job I was working at like 2.5 years ago. And I didn't realize how far it was in the city and how it was inaccessible, right? So I was like awake at like midnight. I realized I had to get on the bus at 4:45 in the morning, basically. So I was like, wow, I'm screwed. So I just stayed up the whole night and I was exhausted. But that melody I was playing at like so slow, and I just had it and I was like, oh, that could be like a really cool like ballad thing. But then like a week later, I was like more rested, feeling a little bit better. And I was just like, what if we actually like, got it like very fast. And then it kind of just turned into this song, and then point A to point B to point B or point C of this bridge. It kind of just all came together. But I always thought it was kind of funny. Is like, I always wanted to be slower. And then the melody, I was like, oh, an octave up sounds very hype,
Yeah.
Sounds like I don't know.
I've had a lot of really great experiences just saying, what if we did this, but it was faster? And it always works.
That's like that trope and most, I think the rock star or the rock star, whatever, the one with Rainn Wilson where he's a drummer and really old and he's playing with kids or whatever. Like they're
speed it up.
Yeah, they were just like in the studio and they're like, that's really sad. Like, let's up the tempo and like, and it's like, oh, it's a hit.
It works. You can turn anything. And it's like, that's like the funny thing about some of these songs and showing to the people is like some of the sadder songs, I would just be like focused on the riff. I was like, I can't wait to show this riff to this person.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is cool, right? And they'd be like, are you like okay? Like, cause they like Self-Destruct. It was like that. Someone said that, are you good? And I was like, yeah, it's just a riff, man. But subliminally, I feel like there's some real dark shit coming out there. This one's a little more happy though,
Yeah.
Like it's just a friendship song.
I gotta ask, you're a kid, you're getting in the car, like what Game Boy you got? What games you got? Like you're going to the grocery store, your uncle's place or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what are you playing?
I was a big Mega Man Battle Network. That was my shit.
Excellent.
I rock with every Pokemon game. Backyard Football was my stuff. I had a Game Boy Advance, the white one, and that was like, I had that, and then my cousin gave me his DS later. But in terms of Game Boys, it was just this. Oh, this is from a commercial.
I was gonna say, what is this?
This is this thing called Terry Tate Office Linebacker. I remember from when I was super young, like 4 years old. Yeah. It was basically like they got this guy. The Office would get this guy who is just a professional football linebacker to come in and correct like bad office behavior. So say someone like didn't refill the coffee pot after they took the last part of coffee, he would just come in there and like tackle them, right? So they made it like almost like a mockumentary where they'd interview him. And I always thought that line was so funny. I was just like, and it kind of fits the song barely, where he's like, do I love what I do? Hell yeah. And just like, there's some sacrilege in this song, so why not?
I actually wanted to get into that. So this is No Offense. This little pre-chorus is good. Oh, on the last song, I love the drums on that, how they followed the melody. I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm. Those little fills.
This, I love this. Exactly how they get you, telling me about heaven is a talk like when I'm with you. So sweet.
And what's funny is like this song existed for months and months and months, maybe even like a year before we had recorded it, tracked everything. And I was like, oh, I have to do some like higher harmonies in there to be like church-like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, because it has these like, the way the melody follows is just kind of, it made sense for that to be there. And it hit me. I was like, oh, I got to do that to like complete it, you know?
Also the classic following the chorus, just going into like a riff bridge section, origami angel thing.
Yeah, absolutely. This one was fun because like I'd never really done a key change like that before. And it's an easier one where it's like easier to get back to the main key here. And it doesn't get like, it's just when you do a key change and go back, it's like, oh, now I have an excuse to riff twice as long because I can return to the main key. So it just felt really like a good opportunity to bring out all the little pyrotechnics.
Knocking at your door, and that's exactly
what's a bridge? Just a verse and two choruses. That's all you need, and a riff.
They keep telling me about heaven. It sounds exactly like when I'm with you. I just think that's so good.
Thank you. It definitely was one where I thought of it and I was like, gotta write that one down, you know?
Oh, this little high. Are you? You're so good. Look at you. Because you're doing all the screaming and stuff too, right?
Yeah. Everything. So yeah, I definitely I feel like I took a step vocally for this album a lot too.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like we recorded this whole thing on our own, and like I was recording all the vocals by myself, and it was just like I felt like I really got to know myself better as a vocalist and get better at stuff like this too.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I learned a lot more about my range. I learned a lot more about just like what I could do as a vocalist, and hopefully I can continue growing on it. But like I feel like I was able to really showcase that, like where I was at vocally. And I feel like as long as I just feel like every person that is a singer will get better every time they record something. And it's just like, as you grow, as you learn yourself more. I was kind of like a late in life singer, not like late in life, but like I didn't really start until our first EP. So like, it's just something I've got to like grow with. This is old riff right here.
Yeah. And this is Mock Bike.
Was that last sample from Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle.
Excellent.
You said this is an old riff?
This is an old riff. Like this is from like 2016. Which might not sound that crazy old, but like that was when the band didn't exist at that point. Like I was just writing riffs. And then this part we like wrote as a band like later. I was like, hey, remember this? And then everything else is like 2018, 2019. Just a classic Insomnia song. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever will.
Yes. I really enjoy how a lot of these songs in this album and in Somewhere City, there's a lot of allusions to just watching TV with somebody. You got samples from TV shows. Like, it's like really nostalgic and cozy in a way, and it's just a really cool vibe, yeah, it's a really cool framing device, I think.
Sweet, thank you.
It's like I just want to watch TV with you.
Also love the hard panned guitars riffs.
It's one of my favorite things. It's just like those pans. It's interesting because
yeah.
I'll track like 4 guitars, and then like Jake Checkaway, who like mixed this album and mixed Summer City too, he'll just do that on his own. But like it's what I want, you know what I'm saying? So he already knows that.
That's a good transition into Quintron in the chat had a question. Who does what in terms of instruments and production?
Word. So on this album, I produced it. This is like my first time producing an Origami Angel album. Recorded everything. We all did it in my bedroom. Like drums, guitar, all this shit, vocals.
Wow.
We rented mics for the drums. But so Pat plays drums. He does some auxiliary stuff too, like some shaker stuff, some like concert style like stuff on this record. And I covered synth, bass, guitar, acoustics, electrics, vocals, also some auxiliary stuff myself too. I'll always remember our booking agent Alex Martin was like, "You need to like write more 6/8," and I was like, oh, "I got a song that I could finish with some 6/8," and I was just like, "Wait, I actually really like, how this comes together," and it's just like a fun thing to try like that. I guess I didn't do enough of.
For sure,
But,
I love the bounce.
Yeah,
it's fun.
6/8 groove.
Also, Alex booked our tour.
Right? Yeah. They were telling me how hyped they were.
Yeah, they're a booking agent too.
Hell yeah.
They're amazing. And this is Isopropyl Alchemy.
Yeah. The last song on this album to be named, and it was like I was shopping in like early pandemic times, like April, and I was trying to find some isopropyl alcohol to like wipe down stuff, right? And I couldn't find it. All I could find was witch hazel or whatever, which is like 15%. But I thought like isopropyl. I was like, I can't get any isopropyl alcohol. I was like, what about that isopropyl alchemy? And then I was like, that's interesting. Just put it
gummy game.
in the notes. That's Jake Sulzer from Counterintuitive Records saying that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We almost didn't put it in, and I was just like, hey, Jake, do you want to like say motherfucking Gami Gang? I think it'd be funny. And then it worked.
It's such a great build.
Pat always tells me that this song sounds like Ben Folds. And I was like, maybe it does.
Oh, I love this melody. I'm dying.
Thank you. I love those fills that he came up with there.
Are a lot of these track names just random word association? Or is there some deeper like joke or meaning to them?
Yeah, I guess with Isopropyl Alchemy, it was one where I couldn't find a name. Neither could Pat. And we were just like, okay, if something comes, let's get it. This song also kind of, if you wanted to like bullshit it, you could be like, well, the song's about trying to clean up your, act or whatever. Maybe you got isopropyl alchemy because you need, magic to be able to do it. I don't know. But then songs like No Offense, like Noah's Ark or whatever. But then also I'm not trying to offend anybody. Mock Bike. It's got a super fast riff. That's like the fast bike in Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. So it's like, it's like that.
For show. And then you just have stuff like Mobius, Chicken Strip.
Yeah, that just exists. That's just like a thought, That's just a thought. But yeah.
I love the chord progression on this one, like especially in the chorus. It's like
big
falling.
Jumping thing.
It's like like floating
and it's
down.
Interesting because like it would have been really easy for us to like kind of do something we like do often, which would be like kind of like come in before the one. But like for whatever reason, me and Pat just were like, we felt like the solid on the nose until the last one felt really punchy. And you get the random switch up to
yeah.
I love those switches.
Beat.
It keeps you on your toes.
For sure. I couldn't even like we did it to a click track, right? And like I made the click tracks or whatever. And like there wasn't even like a good way to do that switch, like musically. Like there's no way to be like, oh well, it's just like it's the triplet. It's not. It's just like a random like thing. But like we could do it. We could feel it.
Yeah.
And it was so hard with the click. And it was just like, I'm just gonna get it and we're just gonna do it till we get it. It was one of those times where it's like maybe you don't want to click.
It's just like a dotted 8, 16 sort of feel.
Yeah, we have
weird.
Jay and Lane are so much better about that kind of stuff. Also, an excellent transition in this song is now You Won't. with a period.
With a period, yeah.
You won't.
You won't.
But Jay and Lane are both so good about like music notation and theory and nonsense like that, and
Yeah.
and it makes it very hard for me because they will make extremely like complicated click track stuff sometimes, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's just, well, see, you're just doing a pentuplet like or something, and I'm just like, oh yes, of course.
Yeah, this is just a 5/4 polyrhythm right here for this part. Yeah, that type of stuff. It's interesting because like I've gotten like a lot better at that over the last like 5 years, I guess. But like me and Pat were always like a feel first band, so like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I have to bridge the gap of like what I've like grown to know, but then also like really make sure that I'm like communicating it in a way that's not like over like theorizing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just try to do it in the most feel way like possible, just because that's like our roots or whatever. And Pat will get it. He just needs to hear something, and then it's like, oh, duh. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
that's duh, because that took me like 3 hours to go.
Would be me,
But this one's pretty straight up,
never
you know?
be you.
Nice little 4/4, big groove.
Tell me what to do.
Who doesn't love a halftime chorus, you know?
Yeah, love a halftime chorus. Also, all of your choruses, as always, are so fucking catchy. What the fuck?
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Absolutely.
Thank you, William.
Also, these. You will never be there.
Yeah, this was definitely one where is like once we had like written it, we felt like there's a lot of space, and we're like, wow, like, you know, we could really go in a couple different directions here. We felt like it stood out to make this like the one where there's a lot of vocal activity going on, you know? And it's just like a little fun switch up from, I mean, like we've done that at times, like the Air Up Here, like track 10 on Summer City, but never in like the middle of a record with like 3 what's the word, polyphonic vocal tracks going on at the same time with harmony and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it just feels like a nice little switch up.
Oh, wow. An anonymous gifter, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. So Oat Milk and Juso, Boy Fabio, Greg's Lounge, Bun Bar, all of them are now subbed. Thank you. Wow.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Great transition again. Neutrogena
Thanks.
Spectre. Here's the single.
The single, yeah.
Pterodactyl, you fucking asshole. I love that line so much. Like a pterodactyl, a huge fucking asshole.
Eyes.
Yeah, this is that. I don't know where that came from, but I was like, maybe it'll stay. You know?
I'm never gonna look that way.
It's like, why you gotta be like that to pterodactyls?
Straight up. I don't know. You know,
That's okay.
I don't even know. You know, I don't know what pterodactyls look like. Mostly my image of a pterodactyl is from the Pokemon Aerodactyl. So like, I really don't know.
Oh, I want you to know. There's like, I think it's a Jeff Rosenstock song. It's either Jeff Rosenstock, Chris Barron, or Antarctica Vespucci song that is literally this riff.
Really?
Yes, like verbatim. It's
Holy
great.
shit.
So cool.
I think of Weezer every time I hear this, like, classic ass Weezer. And I fucking just go.
Yeah.
I
can't.
definitely felt like it was like that like riff is super Prince Daddy inspired. Like out of
hell
like
yeah.
more than anything I've ever written, where I was just like, this is P Daddy for sure. But I was just like, I love it though. I mean, like, how could I not? That's like one of my favorite bands ever.
Yeah, it's just like in there for like 10 seconds and it's gone.
Yeah. I like that's like a fun thing, is just like having a riff that's, you know, you feel pretty cool about, and only doing it once, so you got to listen to the song again.
Yeah.
The middle riff. Shout outs to my mom here and my little brother on the gang box.
And this is all recorded with your SM7B, right?
Yeah. I don't know if we did that with the gang vocals. I think I might have had like a really cheap condenser for that stuff, to be honest.
Sure.
This singing, definitely SM7B. Definitely my favorite
You're just like, what's going to happen right now?
Yeah, oh my
I'm
gosh.
concerned.
Little youth crew beat.
Also, I got to give it to you for making this the single. because you basically were like, hey everyone, like here's some of that, here's some of the same, like that, you know, what you'd expect from us, and like we're taking it in a couple of cool directions. We got that P Daddy riff in here, it's all great. And then it's just like, oh, also here's a breakdown.
Yeah, straight up. That was always the goal, where it's just like, well, I'll let you know this is a different album, you know.
Well,
for
and
us.
then Greenbelt Station, which is about to play, it goes full acoustic at the beginning.
Yeah.
So good. It's such a great when I listened to them when you first released them back to back like that, I was like, I'm gonna love this record.
I just love the idea of like, you know, one of the higher dynamics of this whole album going into like, without a shadow of a doubt, the softest dynamic, you know, and the like going from something that sounds angry to something that sounds very, you know, longing almost, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we did it, y'all. Checkpoint.
And this is Greenbelt Station. Yeah, this is our checkpoint. Yes. I mean,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you. This one took so long to record. Like I could not figure out how I wanted to do this.
Is this a nylon string?
Yeah, it's nylon, doubled nylon, a 3/4 size, one that I like learned on when I was mad young. Like
the same guitar?
Yeah, it's like the same guitar. And it's got like the third string tuner, like the G string, is like broken, so I had to like mount wood to it and like wood glue it and stuff like that a couple years ago. But it's a cute little guitar, and it's like I actually think I wrote this song on that. So I was like, maybe I'll just go back to that nylon. I just felt like the steel strings were very bright.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like, I'll take that. There's like little harmonics of electric guitar here at this moment. And then there's this like drone underneath of this one bass note. And that kind of put it together where I felt like now there's the atmosphere of like what I think this song should sound like for this album. This song also previously released on Minecraft, the Origami Angel broke Minecraft, like a demo of it. So I just wanted to make this one stand out a little bit too.
Also, your vocal on this one is exceptional. It's outstanding. It's very good.
Yeah,
it's
this
so
is like,
sweet. It's so soft. There's obviously so much control.
Thank you.
Very good.
It was honestly, I won't even lie. It was definitely super hard to like record. I had to like wait and do it at the beginning of the day, like instead of like talking through a whole day and not having as much control.
Someone did have a question. Why was it called Greenbelt Station? Also, this one is Bossa Nova Core.
Greenbelt Station. That is a metro station by where I live, or by where I grew up, and it just like the name, the idea reminds me of like home. It's a very like a reminiscent type of song. The beat switch here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what this is, to be honest, like what vibe that is, but I showed it to Pat and he was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, let's go. And he just took it and like just made it to this like, I don't know, this finished product when he added his drums, and it's just crazy.
I gotta say, you did a very impressive thing with this song. It's kind of hard to like dip into like very, very specific and well-known genres like this and make it feel like it's not some cheesy parody song.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you super pull it off.
Thank you. I had to, you know, I don't know. It's a tough one, but this is the one that was like very early on written, where it just felt like, in a weird way, the like crazy riff and the you know straight bossa like complemented themselves very well. In a way that I feel like the dynamic switch between them is like as important as the song itself. Lydian Harmony out there for all the music theory people.
Lydian.
I love that little hi-hat thing Pat does there.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love the way that his snare sounds here too.
Yeah.
Jake really killed it on this mixing. It feels like it hits you like in the collarbone, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, I feel it. Absolutely. Things change.
I love that. It's so like easy, like when you're like writing like shit to just think like this song's pretty good, but you get so stale on it. But then like when you like play music with someone like Pat and he just like adds all this other stuff to it, you just see it in a brand new light after like months and months, and you're just like, what the F? Like that's so cool. And just it's like the biggest confidence booster to hear someone like take your stuff and like, you know, bring it to life and just I don't know. Like just beats like that. It makes you feel something like you hear it with like your own click track after such a long time. You're just like, this is cool. But like when you're with someone live behind a kid who is insane, it just it's a great feeling.
It makes the track so alive. It just goes 1,000 different ways.
And this must be LP2 then, like the of the records, because that was the most stark transition that we've had so far. So you're basically going like, oh, the vinyl is done, you have to switch your vinyl now, like
straight up. Yeah. It's like now you got to open it up with this one.
Yeah. And this is No You.
Yeah. I don't know where it split. So I kind of saw the Greenbelt Station kind of just ending the first LP sort of softly, and then
it is Greenbelt ending the first one.
Okay,
actually.
okay.
Oh,
I think
it
on
is?
the records themselves, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think either could work.
Well, this is a halfway. I mean, like there are 20 tracks on the album. Yeah, 20, and this is 11, and Bossa Nova Core was 10. So, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think it works both ways. But I think it was like a time thing, as Greenbelt being 9 was like in the middle of it time-wise, like 21 minutes or something or 25. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more shorter ones in the second LP.
Sorry, I was gonna say, how hard was this song to sing?
Honestly, it's probably the toughest one on the whole record.
I was gonna say
it's definitely one where
not an easy vowel to sing that high.
Yeah, that's true. It was definitely, this is the one where I tracked it last or second to last, just like loathing like when the moment was gonna happen. I love the offbeat hi-hat there that Pat's doing. It's real good stuff.
Yeah, it's like this, also using the same lyrics and just changing the rhythm and like the way that it fits the meter is so good.
Thank you. That was definitely like one of my favorite ideas about this song, where it's like we could do the same thing halftime, but what if we actually just like did like what's it called, like a Meliola or whatever, like repeat the first rhythm over and over again to like kind of make it fit. It's like the same but different. It's a cool thing to revisit, like, but slightly different, I feel like, as a songwriter.
Oh no.
And then like no lead into the bridge that time.
Full stop. Yeah. Yep.
Shout out my cousin's band, Like Lions, from like 2004. They do that. They would do shit like that where they have like a lead into the chorus the first time and the second time goes straight into it. And I was like, I'm a pen that. Like that's just like a little motif.
We got some Jimmy Neutron in here.
Straight up.
Yeah.
How do you clear these samples?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the wave where it's like, if someone's like, you can't use that, it could probably be the best day of our life, because like we could just be like, MF starts suing the band, F them. It could also be really bad too.
I mean, yeah.
We'll see. They haven't got us yet.
This is /trust.
/trust.
Shout out to all the Minecrafters out there.
And this is a precursor to the ending.
In a way, yeah, with all the huge leveling and just it's that same melody idea coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Too. There's a couple in there where it's just like it's fully there.
Yeah. Can I get some fuck the 1% in chat, please?
Let's get that. We used to have a song called "Fuck the 1%."
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of like YouTube videos of songs live, and just starts with like the fucking GameCube and stuff.
Yeah, that's "Fuck the 1%." Shout outs to the guy who was at an Obsessive show and dipped, and he said, "Sorry, y'all, I gotta leave early. Fuck the 1% though." And then me and Power were like, we should name a song that. It was really weird. He was at the wrong place, I think. It was strange times.
Frick the 1% is acceptable as well if you're not comfortable with swearing. Don't worry. F the 1% as well. Hey, we'll take all of it.
Forget the 1%. All that. Anything that isn't good.
Nicholas says the singing on this is so great. I agree.
Aw. Thank you, thank you. I love hearing that just because I feel like this was such a vulnerable song vocally, where it's like Greenbelt is just me and the acoustic, but here there's like real drums and it's like a more of a, you know, complete like composition in terms it's meant for like the full band. And it's hard to go between the super hard dynamic at the end and the like, lighter stuff. So I appreciate that.
It's such a wave of warmth on that previous section.
Ryan says, I'm from DC and I love all of the references.
Let's go.
I don't think we've talked enough about your lyrics on this record.
Aw.
I really...
Straight up. Shout out to all the Honda Odyssey users.
I know that I said something akin to this on the last listen along that we did together for Somewhere City, but you still, well, one, you're very wordy. You're a very wordy writer, and in a way where it doesn't sound like you're just trying to fill time.
Yeah, sometimes you just talk and you talk.
And it's great.
Thank you.
But I just find this extreme. I know a lot of the themes on this are darker and deeper and like more personally emotional, but there is still this positivity that just kind of shines through in a very earnest way. I just love your lyrics so much.
While I was sitting on the plane flying to LA, I made sure to take screenshots of the lyrics to this album off of Genius and just kind of go through it just through the flight.
And this is Spoon's Rattling. This is the Dan Deacon song.
It's just something. I don't even know what this song is, to be honest. This just came out. We had the riff. I was like, let's do a little weird stuff, and then let's do some heavy shit.
Yeah.
I've had this stuck in my head all day.
I don't know. That like riff sounds like Led Zeppelin to me for some reason. Like
Sure. The beginning sounds like, I mean, especially what you're doing vocally and everything harmonically sounds so much like Dan Deacon to me.
Word.
It reminds me of some song from some game, like maybe some Final Fantasy or something. That's just that. I can't pinpoint it, but it just floats around in my brain.
Like I like the riff as a swung riff, and I was like, it actually sounds heavy as like a you know, full like heavy riff. So why not just use both?
I wish I was in the quantum.
Little false start there.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, very reminiscent of, you know, Good Riddance by Green Day.
Who knows?
Who knows? Also, the transition from Spoon's Rattling into Tom Holland Oates, which is this song, Tom Holland Oates, is so good.
Thank you. That's definitely one of my favorites on the whole record.
And this, it gives me so much anxiety. Like, with saying that line, opening up this section that's very like,
it's just like quirky joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought the hi-hat going the whole time.
It's fun. It's like the Foo Fighters beat, and it's just like, it feels like a very fun thing. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of like party songs that like sound like they could like just have you vibing, but are absolutely don't fit that at all lyrically. Like just feel like the opposite lyrically.
Yep, and the little hi-hat barks.
Pat is a master on that hi-hat.
Yep.
Bell hits. I love them.
Hi-hat barks and bell hits. That's
straight up.
It's where it is. That's
need.
where the juice is.
I love a good slowdown too, like in this riff right here.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Pat goes off.
Yep.
I'm dead.
Actually counting to 10. So good.
I remember when I came
You
up with
just-
the idea.
You just
I was
get to
telling-
do whatever you want, Ryland, don't you?
Yeah.
And it just
think so.
works. Sorry. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
told Pat, I was like, this could be the coolest thing or the stupidest thing I've ever written, man. And you got to tell me. And there's a chance it is do the stupidest, even if we both think it's cool. But luckily, you're just like, that's the move. Let's do it. It's cool. We almost made this a single too.
Well, I mean, this would have been a good one. Yeah.
There's a lot of songs to pick from, but you know, I liked it as an album one too.
I do say, I mean, like, as long as you trust your gut and do whatever you want to do, I really think you and Pat could do no wrong. Because,
Aw.
I mean, you could do what anybody else would consider the cheesiest, like, schlockiest fucking thing to put into a song, and it just endlessly works.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What's this one from again? This part?
This part is this is just like the end of Tom Hall Notes. It's really just like a random like transition I wrote.
Okay. I thought for some reason I felt like there's something similar to it, and
It's very familiar to me too.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be like from like a Zelda game or something like that, you know?
and this is Caught in the Moment, which this could have been a single too.
True.
I mean, he's caught in the moment. Oh yeah, Taco Bell, yeah.
Everyone keeps asking me on Instagram like, "What's your Taco Bell order?" And I was like, I don't even rock with Taco Bell like that. Just I feel like it fit like the memory I'm talking about is good enough that even though I don't like Taco Bell that much, it still reminds me of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow,
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
it is fucked up, right?
It's like I don't miss the Taco Bell. I just missed you.
Yeah, straight up. It hurts.
There is no one does.
And also, you know, fuck,
It's true.
you know, PepsiCo and its subsidiaries.
Facts, Joe. I'm profiting off their name. F them.
Edward Ramos redeemed Drink Some Water, so I think I have a little bit left in here.
I'm gonna pretend to drink my empty cup.
I just finished it. I just finished my water. Here's the deal. I like Taco Bell. Everyone, if people are saying, Andy says Taco Bell is mid.
I think it's okay. I just don't love it. You know,
Yeah,
like
I get you. Also, I'm a sucker for gang vocals, so
me too.
this end part is just gorgeous.
Shout outs. We got
And the slight switch up in the lyrics for the chorus, you love it.
got to do it. If you're repeating it, little punk beat there. You know how it is. But yeah, shout outs Eric Smeal from Acrobat Unstable, Alex Martin, Marty's on there too, and my mom and my brother on the gang vocals. That's the squad.
Whoa.
And this is Dr. Von Doom.
Yeah. It's quick name, quick title, you know, or quick song for quick you know,
song, quick
quickly thought
title.
on them. But you know, like Doctor Doom. So
Yeah, and like fondue.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. And it's like a
It's a
sibling
portmanteau.
to Doctor Hoomst. You know, it's like a sibling.
Yes.
No way. Real easy chord
Yep.
breakdown here.
Well, and this is this is from the beginning too. It's like
Straight
it's
up.
really similar to the
Yeah, it's got the same motif from
Yeah.
what's it called? Self-Destruct.
This sounds like Remo Drive.
Does it? It honestly probably does. I can see it.
Just the melody for that one part.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it now that you're saying
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, I don't bring you on to just be like, here's all the things you sound
No,
like.
no. I appreciate it. I respect.
I think it informs a respect for all the other artists that are
For sure.
in our peers and all that stuff. I mean, it's an appreciation for music. I'm not saying
For sure.
anything negative. And this is
Absolutely.
Bed Bath and Batman Beyond.
Yeah, it sure is. First guitar solo in an Origami Angel song.
Just in time.
Who doesn't love a good 50-second song?
That's one of those solos where at a live show people do this.
Straight up, yeah. It's fun because like I can play like the chord along to it and solo at the same time, which is like a big thing for like solos for me. Is like I want to be able to actually play it like in the 2-piece setting.
Yeah.
So like when the time comes, it works, you know.
Yeah, respect.
Footloose Cannonball Brothers is this one.
Your good old it's contingent on 6 different puns to make sense, right? Like a loose cannon, footloose, cannonball, the Ball Brothers, like LaMelo Ball and Lonzo Ball.
Oh yeah, Leangelo.
Yeah, Leangelo. Just got that G League contract.
Hell yeah.
Hope he makes it.
People in the chat can't stop talking about Taco Bell.
It's pretty good. I just don't love it.
Sonny says Ryland. Wait, hold on. I want to shut up for this chorus. Cupid. Okay, so this to me, this song falls into the category of songwriting that you do that I now call skeleton key, just because of skeleton key, where you find like a thing and you core a structure around it.
Yeah.
So like skeleton key was very much like that, where a lot of your songwriting is very, conversational, whereas like this song, skeleton key and GG at the end here, with the satellite meteor stuff and
just kind of like
it's like it's fine
on that same idea. And I've found myself like as I'm writing now, kind of drifting towards more of that. I feel like I've gotten better at it. I feel like I just love when songs are like that. I feel like someone that I like listen to that like absolutely crushes that every single song is like Phoebe Bridgers with the lyrics like that. It's just like it's like the whole thing, and you're just like
Halloween
I can't even separate it. Yeah,
it's so good.
You can't even separate it from like the lyrics from the music at all, because they're just so like perfectly intertwined, like as a whole journey. And it's like I feel myself like as I've like gotten older, as I've gotten like better as a songwriter, and as I've been moving forward to like really appreciate that style and try to incorporate it. So it means a lot to me that you think that is cool.
And just saying secret over and over again.
Yeah.
What was the impetus there?
I don't know. We thought it'd be really cool to just have like a little pause 3 times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a
one more time.
And this is a blanket statement.
Which is a great pun.
Thank you. We love a good pun.
Some real Linus vibes. Some Linus vibes.
Oh, word. I feel it. This is one where it's like, this is like a self-deprecating ass song, right? And it's just like, it has the fun ass vibe, and it's just like one that when the album was about to come out, or it came out as the second half of a single, I was just like, I'm really happy with this song. Like in this, that's like one of my proudest musical things. And then I'm like, I really hope that these lyrics don't make me look cringe as hell. But and if they do, fuck it.
You're an emo band that like you write songs about wanting to play Pokemon, and you write full songs about not being able to sleep. You are so far past cringe. You've exploded on the sun, Ryland. You are fine.
True. That's true. That's true.
You are fine. Don't worry about that.
Cringe and me have beef. Like that's I invented cringe. I love this solo.
What's that chord? Do you know?
I want to say it's I guess it's in the key E flat. So it'd be the A flat minor add 9 or add 6. Sorry.
Sure.
Which is like interesting because I use it in the first song or Self-Destruct too, to get to the major key. What's really fun about it is it's like, if you know anything about like inverted harmony, those 4 notes are the same, like hold the same pull or whatever theoretically as a dominant 5th does, or dominant 5 chord, I should say.
Sure.
So it's like that inversion is cool, and I use it a lot because I think it sounds really good. But
I know just enough to have followed almost everything you just said.
Yeah. Every time I hear that chord building, it's just like stars lighting up in the sky. It's like inspirational, beautiful thing. I don't know.
Oh, are y'all talking about the vocal, the vocal thing, like what the vocal makes?
Yeah.
I actually don't know because there's like a bunch of like minor seconds in it.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that in a second.
You got it. And this is GG, which is so gorgeous.
Thank you.
Does it stand for good game, or what is it?
Or for Gami Gang?
Good game,
Gami Gang.
Great game. I don't know.
Just more GG.
Good guys. Yeah, it's just good game and Gami Gang, I guess, but more good game because it's like the end, you know.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're on the final track.
Yeah, it feels like it's flowing through. To me.
Yeah. And this is what we're about to get into the satellite.
That's got a GG right there.
GG.
All this came from like an acoustic demo that I had with no intentions of it being on this album or like being like a electric song at all. But I really love those lyrics.
Yeah.
Like of coming to the rusted metal, come for you and get you, fall through the sky type of thing.
Yeah, getting hotter and hotter, and I'll be there to parachute to guide you, lead you safe to water.
Yeah, not to like be corny or whatever, but like I heard Barry Johnson one time say that like Constant Headache like was the only song he ever wrote that made him cry, and that like when he wrote it, and that's like the same way I felt about those lyrics when it was on acoustic guitar, and I was just like, whoa, like because I don't know, it's like kind of just it felt like it came to me at once, like I wasn't writing it, it's just some shit that I said, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, I put it in the voice memos, came back to it, and I was like, wow, this kind of actually fits what I want to say in this song. I feel like I had this second section before I had the beginning at all. So like I had this idea, we were on tour to bring back the beat melody, but put it under different chords. So instead of it having this minor feel,
you're reharmonizing.
You reharmonize it. So now it's the major 7th and going into this 4th, which I think are like some of the most beautiful and like warm notes. And it's like you reharmonize it under it. I got like chills when I thought of the idea, you know, like when I was like, oh, I can hear it in my head, I can hear how it feels, and that's how I want to end this album, just in that way, just because I feel like something that we were trying to say is like there's beauty in things that are like overlooked a lot. I think there's beauty in the simplest things in life, the most overlookable things, and maybe the beat at the beginning is something you don't think is important to the album, and it might not be in your eyes, but that melody is the first thing you hear in this, you know, indistinct way, in this, you know, something that could very well just be a passerby, but it comes back and ends up being, you know, the bookend to this whole album, and the most important part in my eyes, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, you hear it come back again for the last time, and you're just like, wow, this is Gami Gang.
And the lead guitar is now doing that melody.
Yeah. Well, it's almost everything, every sound that's been on this album, like the synth sounds, like there's nylon in the background there's acoustic, there's clean guitar, crunch guitar, there's lead guitar, like the solo, just like every sound that's on this whole record is on this ending right here, just to like really like kind of be almost opposite as where Somewhere City ended, like, oh, we have all these vocals that are coming back. This one's going to be like, okay, all these flavors, these ideas that we teased throughout this album, we want them all to come back on this ending here and just have it really be, you know, like different in kind, as this is like more musical to us, you know, instead of like the thematic vocal thing.
That structure, y'all do it so well. And
thank you so much.
Having it all loop back on itself, it's It gets me every time.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
And then
appreciate
this swelling chord at the end, which I gotta say, what was the decision to almost circle the album again and then just not? Because Somewhere City goes right back into itself, and this one almost did.
It almost does, and then it kind of teases you, and then gives you, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
What game is that from?
It's from Prince. I just started playing on my streaming service.
Yeah, well, we just got 24-hour drive through to start playing.
Oh wow. That's from oh gosh, it must have been like 2010. Tyreek Evans game winner, 3/4 court, Sacramento Kings. I want to say they were playing the Memphis Grizzlies or something. All I remember is OJ Mayo hits like a mid-range shot to go ahead, and the announcer's like, damn, this game's about to be over. But they inbounded to Tyreek Evans. He hit this like 3/4 court shot at the buzzer. It just goes crazy. Ooh. I saw it in like a best of clips or whatever. We were watching on YouTube one time, just chilling after a practice. And there's this like crowd noise for like 30 seconds because the announcer, I guess, decided just to like let everybody, you know, scream. And then he comes in like 30 seconds later. It's like, this game's over. It miraculously is won, and then he says, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. It's just like and the idea, coming back to your question, William, is just like I feel like with Somewhere City, it looping back into itself, and I always had the idea where it's like a lot of these songs, like every song on Gami Gang basically flows into the next one, right? I always had the idea like it could go back into itself, and it could be fine that way. It could be perfect, it could fit the album. But the more and more I thought about it, it's just like, I don't want to step on the toes of Somewhere City, and the idea that it has that. And it's more about the Somewhere City idea. It's like, if you need that the way I needed it mentally at the time I was writing it, it's perfect to just come back into itself. It's perfect for you to like feel it again. It's short enough that it's fun to feel again. But this one, I kind of wanted a distinct end. You know, we kind of decided like this one, even though it teases it, like we could really just have this end, as it is a collection. This is more supposed to be a little bit more grounded. You know, it's a little more like a simplistic thing. It's a black and white cover. It's black and white vinyl and all that stuff. And it's like, it exists in a much more like, I don't know, not like realistic, but in a much more like grounded, a much more transparent way. I feel like, as in terms of Somewhere City exists as like this idea that's bigger than what we are, I feel like.
Yeah, because there is no end to Somewhere City. Like, it'll always be there if you need it.
Exactly. And it's kind of exactly like what you're saying there, Austin. Is just like, it kind of like it helps, I feel like, personalize Gami Gang more as like truly a more personal album for us as writers, you know what I'm saying? And like, not to say that Somewhere City isn't personal as hell at times too. It's just like this one really felt like a journal, like I had described it before, or like a just like this picture book or like a sound book of just different points in my life and Pat's life, just kind of all strung together with string on like a bulletin board or something.
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, exactly.
Pepe Sylvia. Yeah,
that's me right now.
Pepe Sylvia of your own life and your own journals.
Yeah, straight up. And it's just like, I think I'd like alluded to it before. It's like the beat I made like like damn near 10 years ago. Some of the riffs existed from before Origami Angel was officially a band. You know, before we even had the name Origami Angel. Some of the, like a song like Greenbelt Station, I think I wrote that before our second EP, Doing the Most, even came out, you know? So like there's like a lot of like, it feels like a history of what we were doing musically. It just feels like something that as we listen to it back, like, and I listen to it back now, like for the first time in a really long time, it, as many memories as there are of us recording the album, creating it and writing it, it's like, there's always those memories of where each one of these individual songs came from. And it does feel like that now. It feels like a collage, like, you know, a slideshow of just these different moments. And, you know, I feel like ending it completely different is just like, it helps solidify that it's nonlinear, it's manic at times, it's erratic, it's different, and it's okay that it is, you know?
Yeah, I kind of, a word that comes to mind is a constellation. Like some albums can be that loop but some albums are just constellations of ideas, but they all come and form like a feeling, or it could be a lot of different things, but it's still a part of one.
Yeah, I love that. A constellation. That's really beautiful.
Thank you. I just thought of it like a minute ago.
Some people in the chat here. Bunbar says, by far my favorite of the year.
Aw, thank you so much.
Lil Viking says we're going to listen to Somewhere City now. Well, I mean, good for you. We already did. And again, we did a listen along with Ryland. Well, I did a listen along with Ryland back a while ago. Kind of.
Yeah, I want to say like May, maybe we did it.
Yeah,
a couple months ago.
Something like that. And that one is on the Second Glass Beach channel, the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube. That's what it's called, the Second Glass Beach channel. You can also find that by typing in like Glass Beach Listen Along, and there's a playlist that has all of them. I appreciate
if you do want a listen along with me in it, you could just, once this VOD comes up, you could listen to Somewhere City, but put this video on. Really
listen to Somewhere City on shuffle and put this video on.
Yeah, that's the attitude. That's the attitude I bring to the structure.
Oliver Potato says, I have a hard time picking whether to pick Somewhere City or Gami Gang to listen to. They're too good. I mean,
I guess that's a good thing, kind of.
Yeah. Sonny says, I can't believe I missed the Somewhere City one. It's on the YouTube channel. You can check it out. Yeah, just like sync it up yourself. Sync up with the countdown. Yeah. It's there. It'll be there. Just like how Somewhere City and Gami Gang and all of this material is going to be out there for you. Those will be out there for you too. You can hear everything Ryland has to say. It's great.
That one was a lot of fun too.
Hell yeah. And remember, ! Listen will link you to the Origami Angel website for like their merch and everything. And I encourage you to purchase something if you can. At least like follow them on social media, on the streaming platforms. The second link in there is to Counterintuitive's Bandcamp, I believe, where or it might be their Bandcamp. I can't remember now. It's one or the other. I might be able to look at it. Okay, yeah, it's Counterintuitive's Bandcamp, where Gami Gang is. So you can get that there. And then the third link is a link to a tweet that is like the announcement for the shows that Origami Angel has upcoming.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're hitting the road November, December. It should be pretty cool. With Mom Jeans, Pool Kids, Safe Face. It should be really fun all across these United States. Hopefully all is well. Hopefully we can truly hit the road with no complications. Really got the fingers crossed super hard all the time, behind my back and in front of. But it should be a lot of fun. We're excited to really play these songs live for the first time. We're gonna be playing a big mix of Somewhere City songs.
I was gonna say, thank you. I wanted to ask you that question because there's so much material here. Like, what the fuck are your set lists going to be? Because
I never really thought of that.
Yeah, well, because like there's so much that people are gonna want to hear, and I mean, like, how much do you take that into account for when you're coming up with set lists?
It's tough because like we think like I want to like it's really hard because there's gonna be someone who's gonna come and not hear like their favorite shit, and I think that's like the duality of it's just like I feel like Gami Gang is a big enough record, and same with Somewhere City. It's like that's the great thing about having an LP. I was like, it's big enough that everyone can have a different favorite, right? And now there's 2 with 30 songs split between them, and then a back catalog of 19 songs from the EP era. And it's like, so what's that? 59 in total? Whatever.
49? 49,
I guess it's 49. I guess it's 49. Yeah.
So unless my math's basically 50.
Yeah, call it 50 songs. And it's like, even though we write some short songs, if we were to play, like everything from Gami Gang, like we just listened through, it's 50 minutes. And that's way over our set time. I don't know if like a human can do that. Like, honestly, one thing is we didn't have a Gami Gang release show. I don't know if we could have had a Gami Gang release show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've never played for, that would probably be an hour with everything in between.
Yeah,
it's tough, but we'll probably play like better received ones, I guess, in terms of like
Sure.
analytics and how people react at shows or whatever. But another fun thing about this tour is there's some dates that we have like back to back in the same venue in the same city that we're going to try to like switch up and do a second set with that.
Yeah.
And then just like, we'll get to do hopefully a completely brand new one for those nights as like a B set list or whatever.
Yeah.
And hopefully, some people, if they go twice, they can get to see, other songs that wouldn't be part of the main one. But it's definitely tough because we only have like a 35-minute set list. And we're pretty much split like half Gami Gang, half Summer City, and one EP song that I'll let remain a secret until it comes out.
Ooh. So you're probably not going to play hashtag Gami Gang because looking at the plays, it's just not very popular.
Yeah, it's not a very popular one. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I would say there's actually a pretty good chance we do.
Oh.
Yeah. We've been working on some ways to make things happen.
What you could do is you could just take all of your songs and create one giant mashup that's only like 30 minutes long.
That'd be really fun. Like a little medley or whatever.
Because like think of the like the end of I often like think of like the GG, which somebody earlier said Goofy Goober or whatever, which is pretty
that
funny.
Works too.
But of GG, like like the that happening in the background, and then like it like I in my head keep hearing it go like a drop, and then like City never lets me down.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Like right out of that.
So cool. Wow, that'd be crazy. That'd be awesome. Actually, might have to consider that. Hold up. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. I think like as these shows are coming back, hopefully like more in the future too, where we'll be able to like really switch up the set lists. We want to be on the road as much as possible, play songs that people want to hear to people that want to hear them. I guess.
Yeah,
I just contradict myself, but like we're double entendre, whatever what I'm trying to say. But it's exciting. I know y'all got a tour coming up too.
Yeah,
I know
I'll get into that. I'll get into that in a second. Are there any last things that you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to y'all like for having me on again. It's been a pleasure. It's not often that you get to like listen to your own music with someone that you like are already comfortable with, and they get to tell you how sick you are. It's really cool. So I'd just say both you, Austin and William, thank you again for having me on. Thanks for being super chill. Yeah, and thanks to everybody who like tuned in the chat. And if you're watching on the second Glass Beach channel, the VOD of it, you rock too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ryland, for being here. And I mean, as soon as we got done with the Summer City listen along, I know we were both like, let's hook up that Gami Gang one. I think we said it on stream. We were like, we gotta do Gami Gang. Yeah, so I'm very excited. And again, as always in the future, I'm sure any release that you do, I'll want to cover. So
I'm stoked for the possibility of it.
And hopefully we can get Pat in here.
Yeah, for sure. If we do next time, like we gotta get hopefully both of us in the same room, and we can just chill together and just talk about it. I can embarrass him when I talk about how good he is at drums. So
any last thing you want to say to Ryland, Austin?
Just like keep up the good work, y'all. Like wow.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
I've been impressed since first track of Somewhere City. So
thank you so much.
I hope to catch y'all live someday, and yeah, it's just been super chill being here. So thanks, William, for having me, and
likewise.
For sure, this is super exciting.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go to Ryland, you stick around for like a second. Sorry, I'm gonna do the back end housekeeping stuff here. So I'm gonna leave the screen where they can see you. So here we go.
Cool.
Ryland's still here, so you can all say goodbye in a second. But I just wanted to end out the stream. Thank you all for being here. I do these on Saturdays at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Next week, again, I'm doing Konami Code by Arcadia Gray with Arcadia Gray. So that's going to be super awesome. And then after that, I mean, like upcoming people that I have Nightlife coming on. I have Carol. I have Sister Species. I have Car Talk. just a whole slew of more people that have signed on to do more of these. I love all of their records, so I'm super stoked. Even if it's a band that you don't know personally, I encourage you, like, if you enjoyed the format of this, if you like the way that this came out and everything, check those out as well. Check out like the artists that I'm gonna have on, listen to their records, and then come on and be like, ooh, I like this, and now I want to hear what you have to say about it. Or come in cold and have it be the first time that you listen to it where you're hearing directly from the artist who created it. I like this format a lot. I think I would be a fan of this format if I wasn't doing it. I am a fan of it. I'm very lucky and I'm very fortunate to have all of these artists that I adore and that I really respect come on and talk to me about their music that I love so much. So the last thing I'm going to do here is say Glass Beach has announced a tour, and I'm going to bring up those images really quick. So we've got our tour dates here. We are starting November 7th in Los Angeles, and we are going all across the United States, mostly around the outer perimeter, I think, of the United States, and ending in Denver on December 1st. We are playing with Proper and with Home Is Where. Super stoked about this. This is our first U.S. tour. We did one tiny West Coast tour right before the pandemic hit, and then we had another tour that was lined up that got canceled for like that following summer or something. I don't think anybody knew about that, but but we did have that. Super stoked about this. Washington DC already sold out, so sorry.
I saw that.
Yeah. I'm told to encourage everyone to go to Philly. If you didn't get tickets to go to DC and you're close enough, go to Philadelphia for that one. If you type !tour in the chat, that'll bring a couple of links up. One is to our website, where at the bottom of our website is a buy tickets link. And then the other link in there is just to a spreadsheet that has all of the dates and all of the tickets available there. It's going to be a good time. I'm super stoked about it. We've secured a lot of our openers already, and I think people would be stoked to know who those are. We haven't announced a lot of them yet, but it's going to be a really great time. And you're going to be touring at the same time as us, right?
Yeah, we're like hitting the road. I think it's really funny. Like, I think y'all are playing DC. What is it, like November 21st or 23rd? Is it one of those dates?
21st, I believe.
21st. I think we have an off day that day, or we have either that or we have an off day when y'all are hitting Philly. And I was just like earlier today, like, damn, should we just go to that Philly show? Because we're gonna be right there. Like, we're gonna be in the area.
Oh, that would be so cool. I would love to see you.
I think, because I was like, there has to be a way that we're basically like touring at the same time or overlapping and like coming from and going to the same place, like coming or like we're doing the opposite route sort of. And I was like, there has to be a way for this to overlap. And funnily enough, it like overlaps right in our backyard. So we might have to pull up to the Philly show.
Wow. Amazing. Quintron says I'm going to see both of you within a week of each other. Wow.
That's so cool.
Okay. Yeah, cool. But that's that, I guess. I have nothing else. So I'll just end it there. Wrong button. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, Ryland. Thanks, everybody. I do this every Saturday. Next week is Arcadia Gray. Have a good rest of your week. I look forward to seeing you all again then. And remember that all of these are on the Second Class Beach channel in a playlist called Listen Along. I encourage you to go back and listen to, well, of course, the Somewhere City one, because I know you all love Origami Angel being here. And even if you didn't at the beginning of the stream, I'm sure you do now. So check that out. And all of the other ones are also completely worth checking out and listening to. And all of those musicians, I firmly and absolutely love all of them, and I want everybody to listen to their music. And one of my greatest feelings about doing this series is that I am certain that I am introducing someone to their favorite artist. So please check those out. And it
seems like we have already rated somebody,
and we're gone. And okay, well, that's the end of the stream, I guess. That's all right. We were done.
We've been replaced with shrimps.
Yeah, that honestly was probably funny enough to watch live that it makes up for it not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're just perfectly cut clips.
Okay. Well, I think we're good then. I'll stop streaming.
Sweet.